Hey there, I'm Mike Gillette, your host, and this is the Soundscape Series 1937, Part 7, Episode 39 of When Radio Ruled. This podcast is a montage of excerpts from old-time radio shows performed live and broadcast April 11 to April 29, 1937. Starring Edgar, Bergen, and Charlie McCarthy, Eddie Cantor, Ella Logan, Ted Weems and his orchestra, Harlow, Wilcox, Fibber, McGee and Molly, Rudy Vallee, Pinky Tomlin, Judy Starr, Alice Marble, Johnny Burke, Russ Brown, and more. Featured songs include Ella Logan, You Take the High Road, Rudy Vallee, Goodbye Boys, Pinky Tomlin, The Love Bug, Judy Starr, I've Got My Love to Keep You Warm. These soundscapes are a result of the research phase of the When Radio Ruled historical documentary series. In order to find the best old-time radio excerpts to express the essence of the era, I listened to hundreds of hours of old-time radio broadcasts, looking for the most interesting bits. When I hear something outstanding, a song or a joke or a comedy sketch, a news report or an interview, I add it to a best of clip reel so I can easily find all the best excerpts when creating the documentary. But not everything can get into the final version. For 1937, I boiled 6.3 days of programming down to 27 hours of excerpts, from which a little under 5 hours made the final cut. And it seems like such a waste. Listening to these clip reels is one of my favorite parts of the process. I don't remember what I put on each reel, so they contain one unexpected gem after another. And I want to share that experience with you. These excerpts are offered without commentary for your entertainment and education. So here are voices from 1937. Voices sadly now silenced. Great performers living again because you're listening to them perform live now.
Maybe I can use you for both butler and O'Hara. Tell me, how do you get along with yourselves?
Oh, well, say the truth. We argue a lot.
Yeah?
You see, this half likes to go to cocktail parties. I enjoy the nip.
Yeah?
And this half likes to go to Minsky's. I enjoy a little strip.
Yep.
By yon bonny bank and by yon bonny brae, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. So you tack the high road, I'll tack the low road, and I'll be in Scotland for ye, where me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Oh, you take the high road, I'll take the low road, I'll be in Scotland for ye, where me and my true love can never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Oh, you take the high road, I'll take the low road, I'll be in Scotland for ye, for me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Now, fellas, you take the high note, and I'll take the low note, and I'll be in Scotland for ye, where me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Fine. Ella Logan, I want to tell you, Ella.
WMAQ, the Chicago Daily News Station.
Lack-a-day. Just a moment, Charlie, please. That yawning.
Huh?
That yawning.
Yeah, that's what it was. Anything wrong with it?
I believe your mouth was open.
Yeah, well, you ought to know. You opened it.
All right. Young man, I don't know why you should think that you're exempt from any of the rules of good manners.
No?
No.
Well, I tell you, you're talking to a man now who has just returned from a very smart weekend party in Washington, D.C.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm. And they didn't find it necessary to criticize my behavior.
Oh, they didn't?
No.
I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
And might I ask who invited you to Washington, D.C.?
Well, I have a girl down there.
Oh, I...
If you must know.
Yes.
Very pretty, too.
Yes.
And she has a twin sister.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. I'm in love with one of them, but I don't know which one it is. I can't tell one from the other. Half of the time, I don't even try.
Well, that is interesting.
Uh-huh.
Did you have a nice time?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Saturday morning, we went on a clam digging party.
Clam digging?
Yeah.
I see.
That afternoon, I ate 4 or 5 of the clams.
You did?
Mm-hmm. I became very ill. But very ill.
I see.
Why, I shall never know.
Perhaps some of the clams have been open too long.
Open too long?
Yes.
The clams?
Yes.
Oh, so you have to open them.
Oh.
Well, you have to find those things out.
Yes. Well, I do hope it didn't ruin your weekend.
Oh, not at all. I was going strong that evening.
Yes.
You see, we had a very exclusive dinner party.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
I see.
And after dinner, we all danced the rumba.
The rumba?
Yeah, till the side of the house fell off. From then on, it was open house.
Open. That is interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. It must have been a very gay affair.
Oh, it was. It was positively brilliant.
Brilliant.
Mm. The house was lit up like a Christmas tree. And I wasn't doing so bad myself.
Well, I don't think I have to ask whether you did your part to make it a success.
No, believe me, Edgar, I did. Believe me.
I believe you.
Things started getting a little bit lully, around midnight.
I see.
So I jumped up.
I see.
And I climbed up on the balcony railing, see?
Yes.
And I do a standing, sitting, squatting, half-gainer dive. Right in the punch bowl.
The punch bowl?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't know one bowl of punch could go so far.
I think I understand.
Yes, well, that's what happened.
I imagine so.
Mm-hmm. So when I came up for the 3rd time, I was rescued.
You were dazed?
Yes, I was punch drunk. I was rescued by, what's his name? The Viceroy of Guatemala.
Oh, the Viceroy of Guatemala.
Yes.
Now, Charlie.
So help me.
No. No.
I bet I'm close.
No, you're not. No.
That's what he told me.
He did?
Yes. Well, he was the Viceroy in 1925 and 26 and 2750.
I see.
Of course, that's with 2 pair of pants here. And it's a good buy of anybody's money.
I imagine so.
Yes.
Well, now, Charlie, would you mind telling me just exactly what happened?
Well, personally, I wasn't invited. Oh, I see. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that explains it all. I didn't think your heart was in Washington. No. It's still that Gertrude somebody, isn't it?
Oh, no. That's a closed book, Mr. Bergen.
I see. A rather delicate subject, too. I see. Well, what happened?
You want to know?
Yes.
Well, a few nights ago we were out walking, see?
Yes.
And I asked her if she'd like to have something to eat. That is loud enough for her to hear me, too. I was reminded of it when we passed one of those little restaurants, on wheels.
Oh, I see.
Wagon affairs.
Yes.
You look around, you wonder where the horse went.
Yes.
You go inside and you order a steak and you find out where it went.
Oh, I see. I see. Well, did you invite her to dinner?
I did, yes.
I see.
And each she ordered everything on the menu, including the name of the restaurant.
Well, that must have been embarrassing.
Yes, I wish you could see her eat. Why, the way she tore into that food, I thought she was mad at it.
Well, it must have embarrassed you.
Oh, it did, Mr. Bergen. I was so embarrassed, I really cried. I cried all through the meal, from the soup to the check. When the check came, I screamed.
Well, that is all embarrassing, isn't it?
Yes.
But tell me, was she attractive?
Well, attractive?
Yes.
Yes and no, I mean. The lighting in the restaurant was rather subdued, you know, and that was all in her favor. I do remember one thing. I complimented her on her rosy cheeks, see?
Yes.
I had never seen such rosy cheeks, see? Awful rosy.
Yes.
Of course, later on, I found out it was ketchup.
Oh, I see. Tomato.
Oh, she certainly was.
Yes. Yes. Well, maybe she had never been in a restaurant before.
Oh, yes, she had. She was perfectly at home there. She knew what to do with everything you put in front of her. She either ate it or she stole it. Honest, she stole so much silverware that when we walked out, she jingled like sleigh bells.
Oh, now.
Honest, 4 men hollered Merry Christmas.
Oh.
People, I'm only 70 years old, but I had friends 50 million years ago.
I served time in a prison, and I'm not sorry.
I'm a minister from Mill Park, New York, but don't worry, I'm not going to preach.
The world will hear this voice 6,000 years from now.
We're twin sisters from Ingram, Pennsylvania, and we're exactly alike.
Listeners, those were some of the people you are going to hear this afternoon. They've been brought on from all over the country with all their expenses paid by Calumet Baking Powder. This unusual idea of giving a half hour to the people of this country so we can hear their experiences was created by Phillips H. Lord. Calumet Baking Powder is happy to present Mr. Lord.
It is built on a ledge of rock. The vault is 35 feet long, 25 feet wide, and 10 feet high. The walls are 3 feet thick. The crypt is fireproof, flood-proof, and earthquake-proof. In this crypt, Dr. Jacobs is putting models of trains, boats, and things which we use today in our everyday life. He is taking the encyclopedia, the dictionary, similar books, photographing each page on film, as specially prepared film. He's putting this film in steel containers and exhausting the air so as to preserve it. Soon he will seal that vault, and it will not be open for 6,000 years. Now, when those people open the tomb, the first thing they will see will be a present-day modern phonograph, especially preserved to withstand the 6,000 years. On that phonograph will be a specially prepared phonograph record. What will they hear? They will hear the speech that Dr. Jacobs is going to make right now. We are going to record it for the people who will live 6,000 years from now. Recording laboratory ready and stand by. Start your turntables, please. I'll count 3 and then we'll pause for a moment. 1, 2, 3. Now I present Dr. Thornwell Jacobs, Vogelthorpe University of Atlanta, Georgia. Dr. Jacobs.
Greetings to those who are within sound of my voice. You of the year 8113. We of this age know the difficulty of digging up secrets of civilizations long since dead. We take this means of aiding your historical research. My voice is now being recorded at 23½ minutes past 5 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon of the 18th of April, Anno Domini 1937. We chose the year 8113 as the time for this crypt to be opened because recorded history, to our knowledge, is now just 6,177 years old. We chose the year 1936, therefore, as a middle point of calendar reckoning. We added another 6,177 years, and thus determined that the year 8113 should mark the opening of this crypt, which contains a survey of our present-day American life. We have included in the crypt many things which go to make up our life at this time. There are descriptions of what we eat and drink, of how we work, and what we do in our leisure time. We have left examples of our systems of transportation, communication, and housing. We have submitted information about diseases and the points at which we have arrived in curing them. We have included records of our religions and customs. We of the year 1937 looked back upon our remote ancestors as being savages and barbarians. Yet we too had wars among nations. We thought at the time that the principles for which we fought were important. And yet, as you look back through the centuries, you will perhaps in turn call us savages and believe that we lived in an uncivilized world. And so I say to those who hear this voice, the voice of one who has been silent thousands of years and whose civilization has been buried in the dust of centuries, consider kindly the life we led in 1937 as revealed in this, the first conscious attempt of any generation in history to fulfill its archaeological duty to those who follow after. Now, as this record is made, there are gathered here in this radio broadcasting studio some 250 people, and some 3 million people are listening over their radios. We of 1,937 speak to you of 8,113. We offer you our blessing, and we repeat to you the Lord's Prayer, the everyday prayer of our present generation. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Ted Weems and his orchestra open the show with Jamboree. Have you ever noticed the floors in some people's houses, how worn and shabby they look around doorways and between rugs? Well, that's what happens to perfectly good floors that are not wax protected. They acquire a condition known as floor pox. You've probably seen the interesting photographs appearing in the Johnson wax advertisements in magazine and newspapers throughout the country, illustrating the difference between a beautiful wax-polished floor and one disfigured by ugly floor pox. Now, floor pox can be prevented easily and inexpensively by protecting your floors at once with genuine Johnson's wax. This remarkable wear-resisting wax gives your floors a beautiful, lasting polish that saves the surface from scratches and stains and adds greater loveliness with each application. You can wax polish every floor in your home with practically no effort and at very small cost by renting a Johnson's electric floor polisher from a nearby dealer.
Heavenly days, what a financial expert you turned out to be.
Who, me? Why, say, I used to be the biggest banker in the whole state of California. Cash Counting McGee, I was known as in them days.
Ah, my.
Cash Counting McGee, the clever, crafty, coupon-cutting cutie, collecting colossal coffers of cold cash from confident customers and careful corporations from Cape Cod to California.
Heard on the program was Jamboree from Top of the Town. This is the Red Network of the National Broadcasting Company.
Swing, dear mother-in-law. One swing, dear mother-in-law. Making my legs like a vine open head. Swing, dear mother-in-law. Don't stop out of your nose. Just hop away from my soul. You'll get to meet on any morning that your feet on. Come now, the doctor goes. Grandpa taught you to do that. He was hostile. Let us teach you a new step. Keep it hot, sitting out, simple turkey top stuff. It's true, your mother-in-law. That you have heard no more. Don't let it wake up when the band begins to break up. Swing now, mother-in-law.
I'd like to have you meet one of the younger members of our own party, Charlie McCarthy. Charlie, this is Wynn.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Delighted, Mr. McCarthy.
Oh, just call me Puddinhead. I saw your show last night, Miss Murray. I enjoyed it immensely.
Thank you, Charlie.
Mm-hmm. Yes, especially where you tell that little boy a bedtime story to put him asleep, you know. Would you tell it to me to see if I can go to sleep? Go ahead. Go ahead, will you? Go ahead.
Well, once upon a time, there was an opera singer called Johnny. He was the most selfish singer in the big opera house. Every time he sang duets with ladies, he would bellow so loud and hold his notes so long that nobody heard anyone but Johnny. So one day, a lady singer asked her fairy godmother to punish Johnny. Johnny was louder than ever the next night, and when he sang with the lady singer, he held his last note so long that he got all the applause. I can hold on to this note forever, he said. Then the fairy godmother came and said, "You will, Johnny, you will."
And so couldn't he sing any more?
Oh, he could, but he could only sing one note.
Oh, and that's why they called him Johnny One Note, huh?
How did you know?
I saw the show.
Back to the trunk, Charlie.
Without further ado, Edgar Bergen and Charles Puddinhead McCarthy.
Say, Mr. Bergen.
Yes.
Do you know Rudy's going to London for the coronation?
Yes, I understand he is.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Did he invite you to go?
No. He hasn't said anything.
Hasn't said anything?
No.
No, he did not.
No. Did he say anything to you?
Well, you promise you won't say anything.
No.
Well, he hasn't said anything to me either.
No.
But I sort of counted on it.
Yes.
After all we've done for him.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
You know, I rather expected him to ask us to go.
So did I.
Yes.
Well, that's a friend for you. That's a friend.
Yes.
Oh, he's nice enough around the studio, as long as you have a good act.
Yes.
After all we've done for him, too. And vice versa.
Yes. Well, Charlie, I don't know. I'm inclined to agree with you.
Yes.
Yes. I feel that we have been slighted.
Yes.
Openly slighted.
Mr. Bergen, we've been insulted. Yes. I know what we'll do.
All right.
I'll get even.
We won't go. Yes. But he hasn't invited us.
Well, I mean, if he does invite us, we'll turn him down.
Now, there's an idea.
Yes, we'll just say no. But nasty.
Yes, of course. Yes. Well, I'm not going to get enthused or excited about it because I know my work won't let me get away.
Well,
no. But I would like to see you go, Charlie.
Yeah?
Yes.
Why couldn't I work my way over?
Now, there's an idea. I tell you what, why don't you go as Rudy Vallee's handyman?
Uh-huh.
Or you could go as his butler.
Butler?
Yes. Can you buttle?
Whattle?
I say.
Well, I didn't know what he said.
All right. I say, can you buttle?
Buttle?
Yes.
No, but I can split one with you. Yes.
Oh, I'm afraid you don't understand. You should go as a gentleman's gentleman.
Oh, yes.
Yes, you understand?
Yes.
You will go as a valet.
As a valet?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Well, now, I go as valet.
Yes.
How does Rudy go?
Well, now... So you will go as Rudy Vallee's valet.
Oh, you mean Rudy Vallee Jr.?
That's the idea.
Well, what do I have to do?
Well, you brush his clothes, you lay them out, you draw his bath.
Draw his bath?
Yes.
In watercolors?
Yes. Yes. And then, of course, you lay out his bathrobe.
Uh-huh.
Towels and the soap and the slippers.
Do I take the bath, too?
Oh, no.
Well, say so.
Yes. Now, I'll tell you what. I'll rehearse you, Charlie.
Oh, thank you.
Now, I'll be Rudy Vallee.
Okay.
Yes. And you, when you speak to me, you must address me as Milord.
And the what?
Milord.
Oh, Milord?
Yes. Yes. Now, you will be my valet, Bertram.
Uh-huh.
That's your name.
Bertram?
Yes.
Oh, I'm Bertram?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yes, all right. Now, are you ready?
Go ahead, Milord. Go ahead.
Yes, all right. Bertram?
Yes, Milord?
I want you to personally carry on some of this luggage, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I want you to see that all the luggage gets on the boat.
It's quite so.
Yes. And we must have it on early.
Oh, definitely.
Yes. And I want you to see that it's carried on personally.
Yes.
By you.
Of course.
There are 38 pieces. Woo! Yes. And, of course, my town car is also going on.
Well, I'll need a little help with that.
Yes. Yes.
But don't worry, old fellow. It'll be on. Pip-pip-pop-pop.
You're awfully English, aren't you?
If I was any more English, I couldn't talk at all.
No. Now, you must understand, Charlie, that if your master becomes, a little out of sorts,
yes,
you must always remain cool and collected.
Oh, of course,
yes. You understand, regardless of what your master's condition is.
Oh, quite so.
Yes.
Go ahead, be nasty.
All right, yes, sir. Bertram.
Yes, my lord.
What is that frightful noise? I can't stand noise.
Oh, you mean those conjure drums, my lord?
No. No, I mean that noise in the pantry, you idiot.
Oh, in the pantry?
Yes.
Why, that was the cook, my lord. She tripped over the cat and she spilled the tea set.
Oh, I see. Well, if it happens again, tell her she's discharged.
Very good, my lord.
Yes.
Anything else, my lord?
Yes. I want you to lay out my tweed suit.
Very good, my lord. Shall I lay out the cook first?
Yes. All right. And tomorrow I want to see the changing of the guards.
Yes. You want to see the guards change, my lord?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Might I suggest we put the front one in back and the back one in front?
All right.
I'll take care of that.
That's fine, yes. What time is it, Bertram?
It's half after.
Half after, yeah, yes.
time for tea. Might I suggest a spot of tea? With a trumpet or whatever? Yes. No crumpets, Bertram, no crumpets. Very good, my lord. Yes. A spot of tea, Swiss tea, my lord? Might strike your fancy? No, I don't think so. Not Swiss. Make it Chester. Chester, my cheese. Cheese it, my lord. You rattlebox silent. What's the matter with you? Oh, I guess it's those drums. It's the bum, 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 bum.
Pardon me, Charlie, for interrupting.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, me lord. Yes, me lord. Not yet, Charlie. Oh, excuse me, not yet.
Charlie, I have a surprise for you.
Oh, have you? Oh, I know. I'm all ready to go. I'm practically packed.
Oh, you don't understand. I'm going to London.
I know. I'm right with you.
No, but you're not going with me.
I know. Huh? I don't go. Did you hear that, Mr. Bergen?
Yes, I heard that.
After all we've done.
Yes.
What we said about him goes double.
Yes.
I wonder if he cuts his own hair.
Oh, no. Yes. It looks like Valley's looking out for Valley.
Yes, and after all we've done for him, too.
Yes. You see, I have to leave someone here to take charge of my program, and you're the most capable man I know of, so I want you to take complete charge of next Thursday's broadcast.
Do you mean that, Mr. Vallee?
I certainly do, Charlie.
Oh, did you hear that, Mr. Bergen? I'm going to have charge of the whole program next week. Isn't that swell?
I think that's very fine. Yes. That's a great compliment to you.
Yes.
That was nice of Rudy.
It certainly was. He's a great guy.
Yes.
I like him.
Yes.
And why shouldn't we like him after all he's done for us?
Yes.
Oh, Rudy.
Yes?
When do I start being boss?
Right now, Charlie.
Right. Oh, boy. Bergen, you're fired.
Goodbye, boys, goodbye. I'm leaving you today. I'm sailing on my way, far from the USA. I've got an invitation to see the coronation. Cheerio and toodaloo. So long, boys, goodbye, boys, to you. Goodbye, boys, goodbye. We'd like to let you know we all will miss you so the moment that you go. Well, write me care of Blighty. I think I like it mighty. Cheerio and toodaloo. Well, so long, don't stay long. Goodbye, London town to see the way the king puts on his crown. On Saturday next, yours truly and a skeleton staff set sail for Merry England aboard the good ship Ile-de-France. Next week's show, the program of April 29th, will be in charge of Charlie McCarthy, and I'm not kidding a bit. Charlie, assisted as it were by Edgar Bergen, will be master of ceremonies. On May 6th and May 13th, our show will reach you over this station from London, the city in which the eyes of the world will be focused about that time. During those 2 weeks, we hope to bring you the very best in entertainment that England can offer. Don't miss our coronation broadcast, and by all means, don't miss Charlie's great show next week. This is Rudy Vallee saying au revoir and goodbye.
This is the Red Network of the National Broadcasting Company.
I flew to the ball game with Ma and Pa. Ma's never been to one before, and when the pitcher threw the ball, the umpire yelled strike. He threw another ball, and again the umpire yelled strike. The third time he yelled strike, Ma hollers, "Will somebody throw that agitator out? Them fellas know if they want to work or not."
I'll have Pinky Tomlin, the writer of The Love Bug Will Bite You, show you how. Come on, Pinky Tomlin, come on.
Listen, all you people, you'd better beware. Love's an epidemic, and it's in the air. It's a thing that gets you, even though you're very smart. So take some good advice. Go out and vaccinate your heart. The love bug will bite you if you don't watch out. If he ever bites you, then you'll sing and shout. You'll go, ding dong daddy from Dumas, baby, ought to seem do my stuff. Ooh, that's what love is all about. Ooh, the love bug will bite you if you don't watch out. If he ever bites you, then you'll sing and shout. You'll go, this year's crop of kisses were never meant for me. That's what love is all about. You can't eat, you can't sleep, you'll go crazy. Yeah. You'll just la-di-da-di-da all day. Yeah. If someone wants to know why you're crazy, you'll answer.
Say, Alpha, wait till I tell you about the guy I met at the dance last night. Going home in the taxi, puts his arm around me, see, and I says to him, say, listen, Joe, where do you think you're at? And he says, come closer, baby, it's spring. And I says, you better keep your distance or you'll spring out of here on your ear. Boy, was I...
The love bug will bite you if you don't watch out. If he ever bites you, then you'll sing and shout.
My mother was born in Ireland. My father was born in France. I was born in Cleveland without coat, without vest, without nothing at all.
That's what love is all about. The love bug will bite you if you don't watch out. If he ever bites you, then you'll sing and shout. You'll go dee-dee-dee-dee-da-da-dee-da-dee-da-hoop. That's what love is all about. Oh, the love bug will bite you if you don't watch out. If he ever bites you, then you'll sing and shout. You'll go.
Ida and the daughters are Eddie's delight. He must be nearly covered with love bug bites.
That's what love is all about. You can't eat, you can't sleep, you'll go crazy. Yeah. You'll just la-di-da and woo-hoo all day. Yeah. If someone wants to know why you're crazy, you'll answer,
Bobby, if you were a little taller, you'd be the one I'd idolize.
Later, I make up in quality, but I lack in size.
Love will bite you if you don't watch out. If he ever bites you, then you'll sing and shout. You'll go,
Wilson's full of Jell-O and Niles of Campbell's soup. Give me a steak and potatoes and boop, boop, Perdue.
Well, I just wanted to run over and say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Now, when you get to Hollywood, I hope you get a nice bungalow.
Bungalow?
Daryl says everybody in pictures lives in a bungalow because they use one story over and over again.
Slap it till it's dizzy, slap that bass, keep the rhythm busy. Zoom, 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 misery, you've got to go. Slap that bass, use it like a tonic. Slap that bass, keep your philharmonic. Zoom, 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 and the milk and honey will flow. Dictators would be better off if they zoom, zoom now and then. Today, you can see that the happiest men, they all got rhythm, in which case, if you want a bubble, slap that bass, slap away your trouble, learn to zoom, 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 slap that bass.
Pacific time, or I'd sing more. But I ain't got time. Ho-hum, everybody. Ho-hum a day, hum a day. This is Charlie McCarthy and Company. And the lineup of this evening's festivities, frolic and fun, and melody is, well, tell us about it, Mr. McNamee. Tell us.
Certainly, Charlie. With Rudy Vallee on his way to London for his 2 coronation broadcasts, Charlie McCarthy, the dummy that made Edgar Bergen famous, has gathered together a distinguished cast for this evening, headed by Claude Rains, that excellent actor of stage and screen, in a dramatic sketch by Kenneth Sawyer Goodman. Next on our list is a charming young screen star from Cape Town, South Africa, by way of Hollywood, the 8-year-old Sybil Jason. And there's United States tennis champ Alice Marble and her coach, Miss Eleanor Tennant. With us, too, is Johnny Burke, a veteran funny man of vaudeville. Johnny has always been a monologist, but tonight he takes Russ Brown for a partner in his tomfoolery. The orchestra will be guided by the educated baton of Benny Kruger. And there'll be able assistance by Judy Starr and the Swing Kids, the Gentlemen Songsters, and Sleepy Hall. The show is on with How Could You by the orchestra and the Swing Kids.
Shush now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure now to introduce a young man. What is your name, Sonny?
Edgar Bergen.
Oh, yes, of course, Edgar Bergen. Young man, he will now entertain you with. What are you going to do, Sonny?
Ventriloquism.
Oh, yes, he's going to ventriloquism. Well, he will. Won't you?
Yes.
Some of you may enjoy him.
Yes.
Bergen, you're taking a beating tonight.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you appreciate that, Charlie.
Yes, I wish Rudy was here, too.
Yes.
Yes. He did go to London, didn't he?
Oh, of course he did. Well, why do you ask?
Well, I just didn't know. I was reading in the papers a little disturbance, you know. Little legal complications.
Oh, I see.
Of course, I hope for the best.
Yes. Oh, well, I'm sure he's in London.
Yeah. How long will he be gone?
About 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Yes.
4 and 7, 28, 9. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
What's the matter?
Just a nice way of saying 30 days.
Oh, no.
Well, I was going over to the coronation, you know.
Yes.
I even went so far as to have my silk breeches made up. But the tailor, he went all haywire.
I see.
The pants were too tight under the armpits.
Oh, that is...
I was going to wear my football knickerbockers, but they don't look good. They have a patch in the seat anyhow.
Well, that would certainly look awful.
Yes, that's what everybody said, but I couldn't see it.
No.
When I turned around to look, I wasn't there.
No. Yes. Well, I think it's just as well, Charlie, that you didn't go to London.
Why?
Well, I would be worried about you on the boat and over in England.
Oh, silly boy. I'm one of the few people that really knows how to get around.
Is that so?
Yes. On my last trip, I rode first class on a third-class ticket.
Is that what?
You gotta know your ropes to do that.
Yes. Well, how did you ride first class on a third-class passage?
Well, it's a long story.
Yes.
And it's a dirty one, too. Down in third class, there's a door that says keep out. Well, that's where you go through. Then you climb over a rail or two, and then you're in first class. From then on and on, until the purser gets wise to you.
I see.
Yes. I was even invited to sit at the captain's table.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is an honor.
Yeah, but I didn't know it. I refused.
You refused?
Yeah.
Why?
I didn't want to eat with a help.
Oh. That must have started something.
Yes, it did. The purser said, "You, young man, what's your cabin number, see? But nasty like."
Yes.
I said, "Well, I moved. It's very stuffy down there."
Yes.
He says, "Well, where did you stay last night?" I said, "I stayed with friends."
With friends?
Mm-hmm.
And that cleared it up?
Yeah, but not for long.
I see.
He wanted to know the number of my friend's cabin.
I see.
I said, "That's none of your business. You get your own friends." So he said, "Well, until I find out where you belong, you're going in third class."
I see.
I said, "You're not sending me to third class." So I said, "I want to talk to the captain."
That's right.
Yes.
And did you talk to the captain?
I certainly did. I didn't mince words. I didn't mince them. He didn't either.
No. Well, what happened?
Well, we talked and talked and talked and talked and talked.
And?
And I went back to third class. And take it from me, Bergen, there isn't much class in third class.
I bet there isn't.
No, all that dining room. The way they crowd us in that dining room at the tables. Elbows. Disgusting.
Yes.
Yeah, I was trying to eat corn on the cob, and I ate 3 buttons off my own sleeve. Yes.
But you didn't have to dress for dinner.
No, but you had to change clothes after dinner.
Well, you do meet interesting people, though, don't you, traveling?
Yes, you do. You know, 3 years ago, coming back from Australia, or was it 5 years? No, I think it was last summer. For that matter, was it Australia? Couldn't have been. I've never been there. But I'm sure it's there.
Yes.
However, we were 3 days out of Pango Pango when we lost our rudder.
I see.
And we floundered and floundered. A nicer bit of floundering I've never seen. I wore a porthole for 3 days. As a lavalier.
Well, were there any casualties?
Well, almost. One man was washed overboard.
Is that so?
Yes. And he said, "Save me, save me, save me. I'm the father of 16 children." I says, "I'll save you, but this is no time to be bragging."
Well...
there's no thanks in helping people.
No.
I got in wrong with the captain there, too.
You did?
Yes, just through a suggestion.
Yes.
He said, "Gentlemen, something must be done. The ship is leaking." And all I said was, "Why not put a pan under it?" Oh, Mr. Bogdanovich, wasn't that sad?
There, Charlie, don't cry. Listen to Judy Starr and the orchestra, and I've got my love to keep you warm.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. I know just how you feel, Sybil.
You do?
Yes, I do. Yes, indeed. You see, I once had a dog. We went everywhere together, the little fellow and I.
Have you still got him?
Well, no. I didn't feed him, and he ran away.
Oh, Charlie.
Don't you believe him, Sybil. He's really a good fellow at heart.
Yes, I guess so.
Sybil now gives us another treat with I'm the Captain's Kid from her latest picture. Miss Marble, as a sort of a dabbler in the art of slapping a ball over and into the net, I'd like to ask you something more or less personal.
What's that, Mr. Bergen?
What are you doing tonight, Miss... do you think that women are as good sports and as good losers or winners as men are?
I think so. I know the best loved person in all tennis is Helen Jacobs, on account of her splendid sportsmanship and courage. That was one reason why winning the championship from her last summer was not as pleasant as it might have been. I think Miss Tennant will agree with me on that. Yes, I will. Helen is a very fine girl.
Well, we all can't win.
Oh, what a philosopher. What a philosopher. Miss Marble.
Charlie, please.
Yes, Charlie?
What are you doing tonight?
Alice is training, Charlie. She goes to bed every night at 10 o'clock.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought she might like to see a show or something else.
That will do, Charlie, that will do.
What are you talking about, Bergen? I bet you had the same idea yourself.
I must apologize for him, Miss Marble. By the way, are you in love?
Yes, with tennis.
Oh.
You see, Alice really hasn't time to be in love just now. She's concentrating on winning that Wimbledon championship in June.
Mm-hmm. And as an expert, Miss Tennant, what do you think of her chances?
I think they're very good. Of course, the tournament is full of crack players like Madame Sperling, Matthew of France, Helen Jacobs. But Alice has a couple of advantages over them all.
And what are they?
Well, for one thing, she has the best footwork any woman ever had.
Yeah, I can see that.
And for another, she's the only woman who ever played who had topspin on her serve.
Topspin? What's that?
It makes the ball bounce queerly.
Bounce queerly? Did you ever see a Bergen's check?
Wait a minute. Young man, I'm really going to have to speak to you in a moment. Miss Marble, where did you get that topspin from?
Teachers, we call her, helped bring it out. But I guess I was just lucky enough to be born with it. Mm-hmm. There was another thing that helped, though.
And what was that?
Well, you see, when I was young, I was a regular tomboy. I played baseball with boys all my life, and that helped strengthen the muscles in my arm. You know, I was mascot of the San Francisco Seals baseball team for 3 years.
I heard something about it.
It's true, and when I won the championship last summer, Lefty O'Doul, the Seals manager, sent me a telegram.
What did he say?
He said, always knew a swell left fielder would make a chance.
Well, I was a bit of a shortstop myself in the old days. However, coming back to the original subject, Miss Marble.
What can I do for you, Charlie?
Would you sort of like to go out tonight, say until 10:15?
Charlie, please.
What the heck? You can't blame a guy for trying.
I'm very sorry for the way Charlie has behaved tonight, ladies, and I do want to thank you for coming up here.
Oh, that's perfectly all right, Mr. Bergen. We didn't mind. We didn't mind him a bit.
You couldn't make it tonight, could you, Miss Marble? Until about 5 after, say?
Please, Mr. McCarthy, remember my amateur standing. Not tonight, tomorrow night, or any other night.
Well, I guess that clears that up.
Guest this evening is a fellow that I have known for a long, long time. He and I have both played split weeks in vaudeville from Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine. His name is Johnny Burke, and all through his career he's been known to the trade as a single, that is, a fellow who works alone. Tonight, though, he has changed his routine, and he's working in double harness with Russ Brown, a trooper of no small attainment himself. Presenting now, Johnny Burke, assisted by Russ Brown, in Mr. Spooner Buys a Sinker. Mr. Spooner has felt the call of spring, and looking over his fishing tackle finds that all he needs is a lead sinker. We see him as he enters an exclusive sporting goods store and finding him trying to attract the attention of one of the salesmen.
Nice store you have here.
Yes, madam, in the morning, first thing.
Say, young fellow, I say this is a nice place you have here.
Were you addressing me, sir?
Yes, sir. You see, I'm going fishing tomorrow, and I needed a lead sinker.
Oh, it's son of Isaac Walton, an angler, eh?
Oh, yes, well, I do a little fishing once in a while, too.
I see. You want some fishing equipment. Well, here are the finest flies in the city.
Flies? Well, what are flies for?
They lure the fish.
Oh, I always use worms.
These flies attract the fish by their bright colors.
Well, if the fish want colors this season, I'll paint the worms for them.
These flies are $3 each. How many do you need?
All I need is a lead sinker. You know, one of those
It's
lead...
a mark of distinction to use flies like these.
Is that so? Then my wife was right.
What's that, sir?
You know, my wife said that's what I lack.
What, flies?
No, distinction.
Oh, then you're a married man.
Married man? If I'm not, I've taken a lot of abuse that wasn't necessary. Say, don't I look like a married man?
Well, yes, you do look a little peaked. Do you get much exercise?
No, only fishing.
Don't you play golf?
No, I never even had a racket in my hand.
To start playing golf, you'll need about 24 balls.
All I need is a lead sinker.
They are $5 a dozen, but on second thought, I'll let you have 3 dozen.
That's very kind of you, but all I need is...
And here is a set of perfectly matched clubs.
Now, what are they for?
To hit the balls with.
What, $5 a dozen and you hit them with a ball?
That's how you get the exercise. These clubs are marked down. Marked down, mind you, to only $85.
Marked down? I'm glad I didn't come in when they were marked up.
To play golf is a mark of distinction.
Well, I'll take them. I'll show my wife how distinctive I can be. And now, if you'll get me that lead sinker...
Oh, by the way, where do you do your fishing?
I fish in a pond about 3 miles from where I live.
And what do you do with it in the wintertime?
Well, what, the fish?
No, the pond. When the pond is frozen, what do you do?
I shovel coal in our furnace.
That's just what I'm getting at. If you had a good pair of ice skates, you could use the pond in the wintertime.
Ice skates?
Yes, and it just happens that we have a few pair left over.
Wait, just a minute. I came in here for a lead...
Do you own a horse?
Do you sell horses here, too?
Why, no. Why do you ask?
Oh, I started to get suspicious.
No, we don't sell horses, but we do sell saddles.
Well, listen, when I say anything, do you hear me correctly?
Yes, why?
Well, then why don't you get me a lead sinker?
But we were discussing saddles, sir.
We weren't discussing nothing. You were the only ones discussing saddles. I said nothing about saddle. What do I want with a saddle? I don't own a horse.
Where do you live?
I live in the Bronx. Why?
Oh, it must be nice to live in the country.
Yes, about 3 miles from where I live, there's 2 of the nicest trees you ever saw in your life.
Nice place for a dog. Have you a dog?
Yes, my wife has a dog. He's not mine. She says he's a dachshund. Every time I come in, he makes a dash for my leg. You know, he's one of those dogs that's a dog and a half long and only a half a dog high.
You mean a dachshund?
Yes, he's a terrible dog.
I tell you, they make great pals for a horse. Why don't you buy a horse?
My wife wouldn't stand for a horse. She kicks when the dog gets in the bed.
Well, you could rent a horse. A horse would be good exercise for the dog, too.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I could wear him out that way.
Now, here's a saddle. Here's a saddle called the Country Gentleman. A saddle like this will give you true distinction.
More distinction, huh? So how much is it?
$37. Marked down. Marked down, mind you, from $37.50.
You must have a price war on in town.
Shall I send it with the other things?
Yeah, send the whole business. I'll show her what I can do.
What's the name, please?
Spooner.
Sooner?
No, not Sooner. Spooner.
Oh, Schooner.
No, not Schooner. Spooner. S-P-O-O-N-E-R. Spooner.
Oh, Spooner.
That's better.
And what are the initials, Mr. Spooner?
What's that?
I said, what are the initials?
O.T.
O.T. Spooner.
No, not O.T. Spooner, just T. Spooner.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you said O.T. Spooner.
I did nothing of the kind. I said T. Spooner.
But you said O first.
I did not say O first. When you asked me my initials, I was trying to think of what I come in this store for. And you surprised me, and I said O.H.
Then it's O.H. Spooner.
No, it's not O.H. Spooner. It's T. Spooner. My name is Theobald Spooner. T-H-E-A-T. Give me the pencil. I'll write it myself. And while I'm doing it, will you please get me a lead sinker? It's a piece of lead with a hole in it.
Oh, yes. I know what you mean, but we don't carry lead sinkers.
What?
You get those in the ordinary hardware store. We cater to the distinguished sportsman only.
Say, just what is your idea of a distinguished sportsman?
A man that stands out.
Then if I sat on a saddle fishing with flies and played golf with ice skates on in the summertime, I certainly would stand out, wouldn't I?
You're very amusing, sir.
Very amusing, am I? Well, let me tell you something, young feller. As a salesman, you are distinctly distinctive. But you need something to make you stand out, and I'm going to give it to you.
No.
And when you wake up, you'll find a sinker on your blinker.
Constant attempt to give you the unusual in entertainment, we have at various times gone to far places in our search for talent and personalities. But next week, we exceed anything we have yet attempted. On that night, the Rudy Vallee Variety Hour will be broadcast from London, where Rudy has gone to attend the coronation. Now let me tell you what's going to happen to Edgar, Bergen, and Charlie McCarthy. On Sunday, May 9th, at 8 o'clock New York time, Edgar and Charlie start on another venture with the Chase and Sanborn Coffee Hour, a new program under the direction of Don Amici, with the great American composer and conductor, Werner Janssen, and his orchestra. Goodbye, Edgar, and goodbye, Charlie. Is there any word you'd like to have me give Rudy when he returns?
There certainly is.
Yeah, I wish Rudy was here so we could tell him ourselves.
Yes, so do I, but as long as he isn't, I wish you would say this to him. Tell him that now that we've been added to the long list of graduates of the Valley School, we wish to extend our deepest thanks to the professor, whose advice and wise counsel made all these new things possible for us. Goodbye, Graham.
Goodbye, Edgar. Goodbye, Charlie.
Goodbye, boys. Goodbye.
And don't forget the biggest Royal Gelatin program next week from London, England.
The Desert Song was from the production Desert Song, I've Got My Love to Keep Me Warm from Omni Avenue. This is the Red Network of the National Broadcasting Company.
Thanks for listening to 1937 Part 7, the Soundscapes Audio Montage Series number 16 from When Radio Ruled. I'm Mike Gillette, your host. When Radio Ruled and the Soundscape series are before TV productions. Copyright 2022.
May I welcome back our little singer, Judy Starr.
Swing, swing, your mother-in-law. One swing, dear mother-in-law. Means outrageous what you find is open pages store. Swing, dear mother-in-law. Don't stop to powder your nose. Just hop away from my toes. You get the beat on any floor you set the feet on. Come nail the front for the floor. Grandpa taught you people. These words hard stuff. Let us teach you and you can keep it hot. This is not thirsty in the saucer. Oh, my mother-in-law. That you have ridden the Lord. Don't let it wake up when the band begins to break up. Swing, mother-in-law.